Shout out to you guys on this episode of the show, man. Listen, man, I know I haven't hit you guys with reports in a couple of days here on TSC, man. We're currently on vacation, so we just kind of doing our thing. The internet ain't all that. But listen, man, after a long season watching Pelican basketball, we had to get away. But we do know in less than a couple of weeks, the draft is upon us. But anyway, speaking of this, man, let's get right into it, man. Saints host Cincinnati tight end Joe Royer on pre-draft visit. The Saints have been looking at every possible spot to try to improve the team. Now, we know the tight end position is an interesting spot for us because of the fact that when you have two veterans like Juwan Johnson and Noah Fant, both of those guys have 2 years remaining on their contracts. After that, there's pretty much, nothing shaking. You have Mitchell Payton. You have Matavo, who was the 7th round selection last year. You have several undrafted, guys like Trey Welch and all these other guys as tight ends. No clear answer for the future tight end position. As the Saints move forward, they're looking to have more of a kind of situated tight end position, or position rather, that things are, they develop a tight end and have them ready about time that happens. So that's a good stratagem to use as the Saints kind of flip their money strategy and work smartly through the draft to build on talent, right? That's a good approach. So that's why it fits into this particular tight end, Joe Royer. Now, he is listed as a top 30 visit with the Saints, so the Saints definitely interested in him. He actually went to the team headquarters, former Cincinnati Bearcat. He weighed in at 6'5", 247 pounds, 31.5-inch arm length, giving his quarterbacks big targets to look at in the passing game, right? He didn't participate in the athletic testing and doesn't have a RAS score. He's currently projected to be a 4th or 5th round pick. Now, they mentioned that Roy initially rounded out the Ohio State's Buckeyes depth chart as a backup and seeing little action there with Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, Emeka Egbuka, and Marvin Harrison Jr. at wide receiver, all future first rounders. He suffered a series of injuries that caused him to miss more games than he played at Ohio State. Eventually, he transferred to Cincinnati and found his footing. He broke Travis Kelce's single-season reception record last season, but averaged more yards per catch, over 14 yards, and caught more touchdowns and more importantly, he was healthy for 29 consecutive starts with Cincinnati. But his top 30 visit may not necessarily signal an interest in drafting him. His decision to opt out of athletic testing at the Combine in Indianapolis and Pro Day has raised questions about whether he has the speed to compete in the NFL. He also opted out of the Senior Bowl after initially accepting the invitation. It's been reported that a hamstring injury is what prompted Royer to back out of his pro workout. But teams will be pressing him to see how he do. But if you watch the tape on Royer's a very talented tight end, and we'll see what it all is, man. But the reality is that he's if you watch the tape on him, he does have the athletic build, the weight, and all this kind of stuff that you will want, the athleticism that you will want, and the guy doesn't do anything exceptionally well, soft hands for a tight end, but he's a guy that you can more than likely pick up somewhere between maybe I would say maybe 4 and 6 for the Saints. If you're looking for the tight, obviously the Saints looking for a tight end. They've been looking at several candidates as well for the tight end position that'll be available, but we'll see how it goes. 6.12 is what they gave him as a prospect grade. Good backup with potential to develop into a starter. And this is what NFL.com listed of his potentiality as a NFL tight end. His scouting report here. We mentioned the Ohio State days. And then, of course, him in 2024, first team All Big 12 conference set record. And when he transferred the next year to Cincinnati, had 50 catches or 500 yards, averaged 10.4 yards per catch and 3 touchdowns. And then talked about him beating Travis Kelce's mark and started 12 games in 25, third team all Big 12, started 13 games. Numbers dropped: 29 catches, 416 yards, 14 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns. So a developmental tight end. They mentioned draftable rounds, seeing as 5 to 6, right? 2 year start at Cincinnati, 3 uneventful seasons at Ohio State. Royer is a low cut with a long torso, good foot quickness, better off the first 2 levels, more basic route tree allowing him to float. He's physical as a pass catcher when needed and makes combat catches that others might drop. He shows enough toughness and technique as a blocker to expect him to improve in that area. Now, Royer is a tight end 2-3 potential if he continues to polish up his game. His strengths are good foot quickness, getting in and out of the break, fights through physical coverage at his route, hangs on to tight to tough catches through heavy collisions, competitive, running after the catch, takes multiple people to bring him down, fits up more base blocks and good body control, adequate radar to find, work as a lead blocker across the formation. Weaknesses are he benefited from schemes, make him look better. Scheme looks and busted coverages, his trouble reigniting his route quickly after slowing his feet, diminishing catch threat as the route travels vertical, struggles to hold the line against power at the point, run blocking needs better patience and consistency of technique. He kind of, and that's the tape speaks to, Joe Royer is more of a athletic tight end, although you do see the effort from Joe Royer in terms of his blocking, but you see he's just better, a more gifted tight end in terms of his pass, his catching than he is his blocking. But you can see somewhat trying to mirror his game after Travis Kelce. But the thing is, if you have a really good tight end coach that can work with Royer, picking him up after the 5th round could be a definite hit for the Saints if that would be something of some interest, because you could definitely use him. I mean, you could put him in the competition with Matavo, who's 6'6", 6'7", red zone weapon. You can use athletic tight ends. You can kind of round out his blocking, and at some point, the Saints will more than likely down the line find the tight end of the future behind Noah Fant and Juwan Johnson, our 2 top guys right now. So we shall see. But y'all let me know. Tell me about Joe Royer in the comment section, how you feel about him. Would he be a tight end that you guys would draft? Who else you guys would prefer for the Saints to take at the tight end position, if anything? Let me know in the comment section below as well.
Who that say they gonna beat them Saints? Who that?